Okay, as of today, which is August the 17th, we still haven't identified yet who Santa Claus is, although this story was investigated by www.policeabuse.com, and this story was found to be valid. This is not some story made up. The man came into my house without a search warrant at almost exactly 8:15 on September the 29th. We know that from the phone records. Okay, he came in and I called and complained about him being in my house to a Sergeant Fox. Sergeant Fox returned a call. He was on the phone with me for about 29 minutes, and he told me at that time that Santa Claus was going to get a reprimand and there was going to be a police report filed on him. He also told me to put my security camera back in the window. Santa Claus was in the house for about 5 minutes, threatening me with arrest, and then when he left, he said he was going to arrest me. He made me remove the camera. He called me every name in the book. He said, "You have no common sense," and that's the way the guy talks. I can identify the guy because he's been at my house. He had been at my house twice before, and he had the same attitude, the same like, "I'm a policeman. You better be afraid of me, you know, or I'm going to make your day real miserable." And well, he did. So I filed in the federal court. Okay, the federal court is right now telling him that, or telling the Parkersburg Police Department, they need to tell the identity of Santa Claus. All they have done is stonewall. They said Mr. Libert is basically the thing that from their law firm, which was Hill and Peterson, or down in Charleston, basically said, you know, I'm a nut, and my case needs to be dismissed with prejudice, and I should be required to pay the police officer's attorney fees. I mean, how much worse can it get? I'm following discovery things, finding more and more information out as this case is being investigated. I'm half afraid to send some of the stuff out in discovery because I'm afraid they might do something else. I mean, that's the way they operate. They operate out of fear. They try to make you really afraid of them, and they laugh at you. I've heard of other cases, the same thing. So right now, like I said, we still don't know who Santa Claus is, but believe me, it happened. The phone records will show the numerous calls. I called the state police. I called my lawyer. I called the American Civil Liberties Union. And then I called the state police again. And the phone calls are all on the record. It was September 29th at approximately 8:15 p.m. And then after Santa Claus left my house for 5 minutes, he was out in front of the house talking to some people who I can identify by name. Okay, I can identify at least 3 of them. There was a lot more of them. It was dark then. It was, you know, in the late September, so it was dark at that time. You know, about 8:30, 8:45. When he was out there, when he was out there talking to them for a long time, and I could see him. You know, he was like shaking his head at my house, just sort of the lights were on out, you know, that's the way the guy was before. When he came in, the first call he made on my house, I'll never forget, I had a bunch of kids that were like, when they saw my security camera, they thought it was a big joke, so they were like pulling down their pants and like, you know, like, and then shooting a finger at my security camera. Well, I called the police. I did not call the 911 number. I called just the routine police, because that's all it is. It's just a bunch of kids, but you know, I want it stopped because this could lead to Stephen. I need police protection from these people because I don't know what they're up to next. You know, they're outside and their kids are doing stuff to me. They don't even care. So when this Santa Claus came over, he just came to my house. He knocked on the door. You know, yeah, and he goes, "What do you want me to do? Arrest the little kids?" Like that. Jeez! And he went like that. Jeez! Like that. And I went, "Oh my gosh, this is really bad." So, you know, then he left the house, went out and started talking to them. This was the first call he made at my house. So that's why I can identify this guy. Okay? He's like younger guy. Well, you know, he seemed awfully immature to me the way he was acting, but you know, he's got this thing. I'm a policeman. You're nothing. Kind of about this height. Dark brown skin hair, high-pitched voice, you know, arrogant manner, very, very arrogant. And the next time he came to my house, this was the second call he made. That's why I can identify him. The second time he came to the house, he came up. What happened was after they were pulling down, the kids were like, you know, showing their underwear and shooting a finger at my camera in my house. he came, they started like coming out in front of my house gathering, which you have some video of a couple of their gatherings. One of their gatherings I sent to police abuse, where what they would do is like a lynch mob out in front of your house. I said, like, what is this? You know, I'm in my house trying, as an American citizen, you know, house owner, trying to enjoy my house. I got a bunch of people out in front of my house just standing out there like a lynch mob. Well, anyways, so I called the police again. I said, you know, they're gathering out in front of my house. Well, the dispatcher goes, well, you know, they can gather there like that. I said, yeah, they're gathering, but I don't like what they're gathering about. The gathering is like directed towards me and my property and my house and my person, you know. And one or two of them had the kids like shooting the finger at them. I mean, there's kids out there, anyways. So I called. They said they weren't going to do anything, so I called the state police and told them about it. Well, the state police went and called them, and then here comes the officer. I didn't know what his name was. He wasn't identified as Santa Claus. Here comes the guy again to my house the second time on the same day. And he just like looks at me and he goes, Mr. Libert, what can we do to get you to stop calling so often? And I was like, wow, this is not good, you know. I realized the guy was not going to help me at all. So those are the two incidents. That's why I remember this man. And then the follow-up with the search camera. Another attorney told me that possibly I've been the recipient of a rogue police operation where they just, you know, a moonlighting thing where they just came in with no call to just intimidate me because they were tired of the neighbors complaining about my security camera, which I'm allowed to have a security camera. I've already checked into the laws, and I even got lawyers on the placement. And you know, I really don't know what the problem was. But like I said, the police have not identified it, and they more or less are just saying, which, you know, the mayor here and some of the other ones are just basically saying this guy's, you know, off the wall, a loser. You know, this is the kind of thing they do here. You know, I've heard about it from other people and other police. I never believed it until it happened to me. And when I sought help out from different, you know, organizations, I found out a lot of people, like when I first contacted the American Civil Liberties Union and told them what happened about the Santa Claus thing, the lady on the other end of the phone actually laughed, and she goes, well, were you beat up or anything like that? And I said, well, no, not really. She goes, well, we can't help you. And I said, well, did you believe me though? And she goes, oh yeah. She says, we hear this kind of thing all the time. So I mean, it's actually the way they do. It's kind of like a, you know, people don't do that kind of thing in this day and age. I mean, this kind of operation like that, you know, we're moving more towards, you know, like trying to be honest and trying to be clean, that type thing. But this thing is like something really dirty and night and fog operation. This is a dirty night and fog operation that happened to me, and now I'm wondering how many other people it's happened to who didn't report it or were scared to. Because initially I was scared, but you know, after a while. What can you say? You have to say something, you have to do something, or it just keeps up.